After making some spectacular headlines in the art world and on reality television, Shalini Passi is now stepping into the literary space. In a candid conversation with Nikita Singh, she reflects on her journey and also the philosophy behind her new book, The Art of Being Fabulous. We'll leave you with this conversation. Thanks for watching.
From the world of contemporary art to philanthropy to unapologetic self-expression, we have with us a guest today who wears multiple hats. In fact, she's just stepped into a new chapter of being an author of the book, The Art of Being Fabulous. Thank you and welcome to the show, Ms. Shalini Passi. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you, Nikita, for the fabulous introduction. Lovely to be here.
And we are so lucky to have you with us today. Ms. Shalini Passi, my first question to you is, again, you've worn many hats as an artist, as an art collector. You also support budding artists. You are a social worker. Which is that one personality you relate to the most? And what personality can we visualize in the book?
I think for me, being an artist is the most important thing. I always wanted to be an artist, but I couldn't study art in college. And then I just lived my life as an artist. For me, when you define, when you try to put people in different roles, or I think that doesn't really work for me. Right. For me, I think it's just an extension. It's a very simple extension that if I love art, I used to paint, so I started collecting art. It was a very natural transition. Then when I saw the need to support artists, contemporary artists in India, I did that. I started an art foundation. For me, it's like, how you flow. So it's just a natural extension of things for me. It's not really like a role, and you can't really put it in boxes.
Absolutely. Very well put. After, again, for audiences, after they saw you on reality shows like Fabulous Lives and Big Boss, they felt that they actually knew you. When was the right time you thought, okay, now's the time they need to know me as an author, and now I'm going to express myself through this art? When was that time? When was the right time for you to decide on that?
I think when somebody is in the public eye, the first advice that they are given is maintain the mystery. And that's exactly what everybody told me, that maintain the mystery and don't give interviews, be mysterious in everything. But honestly, I felt that the number of people who reached out was not just interest. It was, they were reaching out for help. They were reaching out for advice. So there's a difference. If somebody's just interested in what you do, who you are, just for...
Superficially or...
Superficial, not just superficial, but like just interested or inquisitive is different than somebody who's reaching out or getting inspired.
Genuinely.
So I felt, it's all in my head, but I felt that they were inspired and they wanted to know more, and they saw something which we all tried to conceal, and they still saw it. And so that was the idea, that and there was so much interest from journalists like yourself who I couldn't say no to. And I also enjoyed it. I enjoyed speaking. It gave me, when I speak, when I write, when I paint, it's also introspective. It's also looking into myself. There's sometimes I say things and I say, you know what, if this is what I'm doing, maybe this is not correct, because there's nobody regulating me. So for me, it's also becomes like a reflection. What I'm speaking, what I'm writing, how my audience is receiving it,
Right. And I'm sure they'll receive it beautifully, the way they've received your other forms of expression. Also, tell us more about the title, please, Ms. Passi. Would love to know more about the story behind all those words.
Yeah. So the title Fabulous was actually given by the Dramatics team as well as the Netflix team. It is the title Fabulous Lives versus Bollywood Wives. Right. So me being fabulous. So I took fabulous and art. Art has always been the most important thing in my life. And being. Being means human being, or being means just being, existing. So I took these two words and then try to play around it, and this title came out.
Right. So. Being fabulous from within, and the 10 rules for a beautiful life. Please tell us more about that.
So, well, I think this is a very personal book. Yeah. It talks about anecdotes from my childhood to present. There are a lot of fun incidences. There are a lot of anecdotes which will make you cry, which will make you laugh, and which will make you think. And just like the readers, and I want to empower them by this book. I want them to think about their lives. I want them to think about anecdotes in their life and, incidences from their life that they can derive from. So I want to empower them in a way where they can derive, where they can, derive inspiration from their own journey.
And I think that's why audiences also relate to you very easily, right? From someone from belonging to the younger generation to the older generation. It's very easy for people to relate to your story and to your experiences of growing and becoming who you are today. Also, Ms. Passi, I just want to ask, as a writer, you attempted writing this book for the first time. You attempted being a writer. How difficult was it to balance between creativity and courage while writing this book, and also being vulnerable at the same time? You have to be elegant. Was that hard as a writer?
So this is actually the incidents in the book as well. So when I was very young, I used to swim, and in the school I was in the school team, and I was very young then, maybe class 5th or 6th, and the diving team. So we were asked to join the diving team, and so the seniors would dive from the highest, which was I think 10 meters, and the juniors from the 1 meter. And so one day the teacher called me up and she pushed me down, and I was just really young. Wow. And then I came out and I said, "Why did you do that?" He said, "Because we did not want you to wait for another 3 months when you could actually start practicing from there. So I've learned to throw myself into things and then learn."
Just dive into them.
So I've learned to dive into things, learn to dive into things, because the thing is that when you jump into the water, and the baby jumps into the water, a kid,
right,
he learns to swim. Otherwise, the fear of water will remain.
You've seen India's art landscape also grow. What do you currently think of India's, contemporary art, and how these creative expressions are coming to life by so many other young artists?
Yeah, so when growing up, I used to study art in school. Yeah. My teacher in school, Bishambar Khanna, he was friendly with B.C. Sanyal and Manjeet Bawa. And how they approached art and how artists approach art is so different, and their techniques, they are, an artist also does photography, videography, installation. And I think, and it's more, they're talking, even then they spoke about their time, but now the artists are even more talking about their times. Right. And I think, like in literature, people write about, and an author writes about his times, and an artist also paints about his time. So I think that I see also, like, I think more and more women artists are being appreciated, and they are among the top now, which is great. In the 1980s, 70s, it was not as much. They were a handful, but now, like, I see women getting top shows in top museums around the world, which is wonderful. Curators who are women. So I think that shift has happened, but still we have a long way to go.
I want to ask you, anyone around you who's inspired you, who you think are fabulous in their own right, in their own field, any role model that you've been following for years?
I think I've always admired Mr. Ratan Tata, and he's been such an inspiration to me and my family. And I think in every sphere he's done so much for the, with Tatas, he's done so much, and he was a great philanthropist. There's M.F. Hussain, who is one of India's most incredible artist, and he was such a free spirit, and he could paint on any subject. And then we have Mr. Shah Rukh Khan, who's so passionate about his profession. He's a great reader, and he knows so much about so many things, and yet he's so down to earth. and there's Mother Teresa, who's dedicated her entire life. So these 4 people, I think, have really inspired me. Of course, there are many more, because you need inspiration every day. You need inspiration from the birds, from the flowers, from somebody like you who is so dedicated. So I think inspiration is everywhere. You just need to see it. And for me, I think these 4 people have really made a difference in my life.
And, Ms. Passi, coming to the end of the interview, just one message for all your fans out there. Again, like I said, you've had fans from anyone who's in their 20s to anyone who's in their 60s. So a wide span, a wide spectrum of your fandom. Any last message that you would like to give them before they read the book? And again,
one more quote. Don't dress to impress, dress to express.
Right.
And then, of course, be fabulous, because it's all like you all are fabulous. God created us to be this being, and it's how we lead our lives. And I think inner strength and outer strength that's what makes you fabulous.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Can't wait to read this fabulous book.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely wonderful.
Thank you, Nikita.
Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.